All right, there we go. Hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. So, I wanted to very briefly, uh, I guess, address a question that I get asked almost every day when I'm dealing with clients and answering questions about losing weight and toning the body. And that question is really, how do I get abs? And the follow up question is always, well, how many sit ups should I do? Or should I do sit ups? So I was going to start off very simply and just and shoot straight. Sit ups don't work. Okay. I know this may be contrary to belief, but sit ups simply don't work. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and go over a couple of things that you can do instead of sit ups to help you go ahead and get that washboard, that flat stomach that you've been looking for and you may have been struggling with. So, what I want to do real quick is just share um, a couple of things with you. Oh, I almost forgot. How did I? If you're new to the channel, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you can always be up to date with the latest content that I'm posting here on my page. So, um, right here, if you look again, last night I streamed and I talked about eliminating diabetes without medication, and we started here with Harvard University. Again, I think a university that most people have heard of, right? And so if we scroll down here, we can clearly see. Let's see, where is it? Right here. Yeah. So one of the main reasons why you should stop doing sit ups yesterday is because they can cause low back pain and injury to your low back. Okay. So as it says right here, uh, one reason is that sit ups are hard on your back. Okay. And if you're familiar with, or if you're not familiar with, the way your spine curves when you get towards your lower back, it kind of makes this little curve here. All right. And that's just the natural curvature of your spine. So, what they're talking about here is when you're doing sit-ups, all right, they push your curved spine against the floor, okay, and then this starts adding extra work to your hip flexors, and those are the muscles that run from your thighs to your lower back. So when you have tight hips, and this is probably something that you may have read about or heard about before, tight hips is not necessarily something that you would want. When you do have tight hips, they tend to tug on your lower spine, and this can create back discomfort. Okay, can cause injury and discomfort to your lower back. Okay, um, so another article here on Yahoo. Let's see if I'm in the right spot here again. Um, yeah, so not only are you causing injury and causing pain to your lower back, um, as you see here, they really don't do anything to build up the other parts of your stomach. So your abdominal region has several parts. There's your obliques on the side, your abs that we generally think about kind of run in the middle portion of your abdomen, and you have upper abs, you have lower abs, you have middle abs, if you will. And sit-ups, they just kind of just target one little area for the most part, and that's this area right here um, that you're not getting any work. Your transverse abdominis here, your obliques again. Okay, so doing these sit-ups alone, you're not going to get abs. Okay, so again, they don't have any visible effect. Okay, so if you're looking in the mirror and you're like, well, why I keep doing these sit-ups? Why am I not seeing any results? Um, so as you can see here, um, there's no visible effect. They don't target enough of your abdomen for you to see any results. Okay, and again, you may, again, just like we saw on the previous article, we're going to get more tightness in the hips. Okay. And as you get tighter hips, as your hips get tighter and tighter and tighter, I don't know what's going on with this ad over here, but as your hips get tighter and tighter, you're putting more and more pressure on your lower back. Okay. And low back pain is something that millions and millions of Americans are dealing with daily, right? A lot of us sit too much. A lot of us don't get enough activity as it is. And now you're saying, well, hey, I'm going to start a new exercise routine and I really want to start focusing on flattening my stomach. And now I'm going to do these sit ups and I'm going to make my low back pain even worse. Okay. Again, and this one here, again, another article here where we're talking about not doing and crunches as well. So let's be sure that we're not saying, well, hey, let's just go ahead and do crunches. Like, well, I'm not going to do sit-ups. I should do crunches. No, crunches and sit-ups, we're pretty much in the same boat here. Okay, pretty much in the same boat. Um, let's see if we can find that spot again here. Yeah, so here it is. So one of the main issues here with trying to target belly fat. Number one, it's impossible, and we're going to just quickly go over that real quick. Um, you have to reduce your body fat as a whole. Okay. You can't take a pill. You can't do a magic wrap. And again, you can't do sit ups. So the only way that you can actually reduce your belly fat and flatten your stomach is to reduce body fat as a whole. So as we see here, most of us don't have our body fat distributed evenly. Okay, some of us may carry extra fat on our arms. Some of us may carry extra fat on our thighs. Some people, when they gain weight, you see it in their face. And then some of us also carry extra weight in our abdomen. So, in order for us to flatten that stomach, we have to evenly reduce body fat as a whole. Okay, so you don't just gain fat and say, "Oh, well, I gained it in my belly or my thighs or whatever, so let me target that specific area." No, we have to target the entire body. So one of the things you have to do is make sure we're focusing on reducing our body fat as a whole. Okay, so um, if you were, and I'm by no means suggesting this, but I'm trying to make it an example, give you a point here. If you were to target body fat as a whole, and let's say you actually were doing sit ups, you actually might see a little bit of results because now you're putting in the exercise combined with the reduction of body fat. But again, as we've already discussed, we want to avoid doing sit ups because number one, they don't work. Okay. And number two, you're going to do more damage to your lower back. You're going to increase the tightness in your hips. And if you have low back pain, you're going to make it worse. And if you don't have it already, you may create it. Okay. So, what are some things that you can do instead of sit ups? Okay. So, a couple of things. Number one, as we see here, I'm sorry, I missed this last one. I wanted to make sure we could touch on this one as well here. Let's see, where is that here? Where's that one spot here? Yeah, again. So lots of people, again, have the goal of saying, "Hey, I really want that six pack or that flat stomach." And again, the first thing we do is we go straight to those sit ups. Okay, and again, your abdominal area is complex. We've discussed that already. So again, we have to do here we're talking about increasing the body temperature. Okay, so this is yet another thing. So if you think about it, exercises like running, if you've ever run before, or if you've gone on a brisk walk, if you've ever gone swimming, if you've ever hopped on a bicycle or exercise bike in the gym, what you'll notice is your body temperature it goes up and up and up. You're increasing that body temperature. And what that does is that increases your metabolic rate, that allows your body to utilize calories and start utilizing fat for energy, which is what you want. Okay. Well, the problem with sit-ups again is you're really not going to generate the amount of heat necessary for you to, target that region and, as they say, burn any fat. Okay. So if you see here, if the muscle group is small, the amount of heat it creates will also be small. Okay. Compare your abdominal region to your entire body, like as you're using when you're doing exercises like running, jogging, swimming, or your legs. One of the reasons why exercising your legs is so important is because it's such a large muscle group. And we're including things like your thighs and your glutes, big, powerful muscles, right? So, for example, they're comparing this to like if you were to do bicep curls, you're not going to generate a lot of heat um, in order to have any results. So, again, there's a few things we've talked about. Number one, number one, sit-ups can injure and cause pain to your lower back. Number two, it doesn't target enough muscles for you to actually see any results. Number three, we want to make sure that if we are trying to flatten our stomachs, that we're actually reducing body fat on our bodies as a whole. And number four, again, we're just doing sit-ups is not going to get your heart rate up enough. It's not going to generate enough heat on the body to actually make a difference for you to actually start losing fat in that area. Okay, so again, what are some things that you can actually do instead? And some of the stuff that I always tell my clients and just anyone who asks, well, if I can't do sit ups, what are some of the things I should do? Well, just off the top of my head, I always go straight to leg lifts or leg raises because you want to try to train your abdominal muscles from the bottom up. Okay. Generally, if we have issues with belly fat, or if we're struggling to tone our abs and get that six pack that we're really trying to get, generally, we struggle with the lower region the most. So, one of the things I always say is, hey, do exercises with your legs elevated off the ground. Target those lower abs and work from the bottom up. Okay, again, sit ups, you're really only going to get maybe that top portion, if anything. And again, you're dealing with that low back pain problem that we've already talked about. And, it can get even more serious if you're constantly doing sit ups on the floor over and over again. Again, you could cause damage to your muscles and your nerves in that area. So, again, highly, highly, highly recommended that you do not do sit ups. Okay. So, again, what are some things that we actually can do? As with regards to building our abdominal region. Again, planks. And where are we here? Here, we're on WebMD right here. And planks. One of the best exercises you can do. I don't know what that video is there, or these ads, they get out of control, y'all. But anywho, planks, absolutely. Um, Now, unfortunately, y'all see here, disregard this one, y'all. Disregard this one. No, we already said if I could draw an X on this right here, I would. But planks, absolutely. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you are on your knees, if you're a beginner, if you're on your elbows with your upper body, if you're on your palms, all of that is acceptable. Planking, definitely a great exercise. Again, I mentioned leg lifts already. Great exercise. Again, this is going to target your lower abdomen and work your abs from the bottom up. Okay. You also uh, can do this exercise with your legs completely straight. You can do this exercise with your knees bent. There's so many modifications and alterations that we can do to these exercises to keep them safe. Also, some other exercises. Let's see, V-ups. I love this one here. As you can see in the video, um, great exercise. She's a little herky jerky. You know, I would probably want you to have a little bit more control in your motion, but as you can see, there's also alterations here to where you can do it with one leg. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're advanced, whatever your level is, there's different ways we can work these exercises here. Let's see, what was the other one here? Yes, hollow holds, excellent exercise, because what we're getting here with this exercise is we are getting isometric contraction, very similar to plank exercises. And what isometric contractions do is they keep the muscle working and throughout the entire contraction, and it slowly fatigues. And what that does is it recruits more and more and more muscle fibers, which is what you want to build your strength and endurance. Okay. Let's see. I think there was one more. Now, yeah, I think that was it for this one. Now on this article here had some great exercises. I loved almost every single one here. Um, let's see, what was the first one? Yes, as you can see here, yes, in this exercise, she is on the ground. But the difference between this exercise here and sit-ups is you can see that she has her hips elevated, and that's keeping her spine neutral. And neutral is what you want. Okay, it's a nice straight line. And whenever I've coached or trained clients, exercise is all about straight lines, and that's the safest and most efficient way to train. So this is a great exercise here as she's doing some bridge marches here. Another good exercise, plank with knee taps. Love it. Okay, so we're kind of combining a little bit of isometric contractions here with a little bit of motion as well. So again, as you can see with that knee motion here in this exercise, you're going to start targeting those lower abs so that you can work again from the bottom up. Great exercise here. Um, Another great one here where you have your alternating leg kicks here. Um, Nice and under control. Okay, so each and every time you're alternating, you get a little oblique work here as well, because as your right leg lowers, you're going to train one side. As your left leg lowers, you're going to train another side as well. And you're also going to be working those lower abs, again, working from the bottom up. Now, one more nugget here that I forgot to mention as I'm going through these exercises, just reminded me of something here. One of the things that you must always make sure that you're sure to do when you're training your core, more important than any other part of your body, and this is the same kind of general guidance for all uh, exercise, all strength training, um, but your pace and control. If you look at this video, and I'm letting it play for a reason, if you look at this video, the pace is excellent. There's not a rush, um, not in a hurry, because one of the easiest ways to get injured is to get in a hurry. And also, one of the easiest ways to not see results is to be in a hurry. You need to give your abdominal region time to relax and time to contract on every single repetition. Okay? So always keep that in mind when you're working your abdomen. Pace, control. The slower you can go, the more in control you can be, the better off, the more results you'll see. All right. So again, main thing here is as we review, and we'll go ahead and wrap up here and see if we can get some Q&A. But main thing here is number one, again, sit-ups can damage and injure your lower back. Again, we already deal with enough low back pain as it is. So make sure we're avoiding sit-ups because they can damage and injure your lower back and cause low back pain. It can cause muscular damage in that region, nerve damage. We want to avoid it. Number two, Why do them? Because they don't work. Again, they're not going to target enough of the muscles in that area for you to see any results. And then we also mentioned, remember that we have to train our entire body. We have to reduce body fat as a whole. And remember, we also said that these type of exercises, sit-ups, they don't generate enough heat to burn any of the fat away in that area either. So we want to make sure we're doing exercises where your legs are elevated. We want to make sure we're doing exercises like planks for that isometric contraction as well. And again, we need to make sure we're reducing body fat as a whole. All right. All right. So let's see if we